Hi, I'm Chad Carson with CoachCarson.com. This video is going to be about helping you with the big picture of real estate investing. I'm going to talk to you about the wealth stages and how real estate actually builds wealth and moves you towards financial independence. And then a little bit about just what strategy is right for you. Should you be flipping? Should you be renting? Should you be doing something different or some niche in between? And so I'll dig into that a little bit and hope to help you get a little bit more clarity in that topic. All right, so for me, I like pictures, I like to draw, and so hopefully this will help you as well. But as I've been working in my real estate investing business and teaching other people as well, I look at your big picture of real estate is really like you're climbing a mountain. You know, you're trying to reach this top, let's call it financial independence, where you have enough wealth to produce income to pay for all your personal overhead and not have to work anymore. But then we all start, kind of at the bottom. We are all in a survival stage where we have to just get the bills paid, and we have to try to save up some money and get stable, get a reserve fund, get a job that pays a little bit better. And so we move up those stages, and that's whether you invest in real estate or not. And eventually you start saving some money and learn how to save a bigger portion of your income, reduce your expenses, increase your income. And then as you get to stage 4 and 5, these are really like kind of the prototypical stages of real estate investing. Growth is where you have, let's say, $50,000 and you're trying to turn that into $1 million. And so growing that wealth using real estate, which real estate is a wonderful tool for that. But then there's also the stage that I'll call income. And it's when you're getting closer, either at a stage where you want to take a break or kind of move into a mini retirement or full retirement, where you have this wealth you've built and you want to turn that wealth, that equity, into income that you can actually use to replace your job income. So my recommendation is just to think first of all about your wealth stage. Where would you place yourself? Are you in the survival stage? Are you just getting started off, which is fine, we've all been there? Or have you accumulated a pretty big chunk of money and you're really in the stage where you want to work less and live off some income, or somewhere in between? And the reason you start there is because you start thinking about strategies. So these strategies, these are sort of your routes up the mountain. And if you're, just for an example, if you're in stage 1 or 2, you're in the survival stability mode, really the real estate strategies you hear often, like buying and holding rental properties or flipping houses, really aren't the best, most viable strategies at that point. What you really need is a job. And so if you want to get into real estate, maybe you could find a way to find deals for other people, bird dogging properties, become a real estate agent, something like that, to make a little bit extra income. But actually investing in real estate is not your stage, is not viable at that stage. As you start getting into saver, stage 3, you can start getting to sort of the baby steps of real estate investing. And one of my favorite ways, if you're looking to flip houses, is to do a live-in flip, where you actually move into a residence that needs some work, or there's something you can do to it to add some value. Live there for 2 years. And in the United States at this point, if you sell that property and make a profit, you can pay a big chunk of that, either $250,000 for an individual or $500,000 for a couple. If you flip a house that you live in for 2 years, you could actually pay no taxes on that gain. So that's a really good strategy as a saver. You're trying to build up your savings, and you have to live somewhere. And so and if you wanted to get rental properties at the saver stage, one of my favorite ways, the way I got started in rental properties, was called house hacking, where you actually live in one unit, maybe you have a triplex or a duplex or something, and you rent out the other units, or you rent out Airbnb, the apartment above the garage or something, to help you pay your mortgage payment. And then eventually you can move out of that residence and then keep that property as a rental. So that's how a lot of people get started in real estate investing, either live-in flips or house hacking. And then once you get up to the growth phase, there are a lot of different strategies for taking that small amount of capital and leveraging it or growing it into a bigger chunk. I'm a buy and hold rental person, but even within that niche, you could also think about things like there's something called a debt snowball, which you can look at CoachCarson.com. I have got some articles on that, where you buy a few rental properties, you use all of the excess income from those rentals plus any other savings, and you attack one mortgage at a time until you have them all paid off, maybe within a 10-year, 12-year period. So that's a way you could pretty quickly go from having a few properties to having free and clear properties, and kind of move you into the income phase. And there are a lot of different ways in between. And so that's the main point I wanted to say here is you start off with your wealth strategy, then you start thinking about strategies that are relevant for you, that make sense for you. And I think a lot of people get confused and overwhelmed because they hear so many strategies. They read Bigger Pockets, they look online, they read my articles, and they think, which strategy is right for me? Well, it all starts with your specific situation, and that's why not everything makes sense for you. But if you get clear on the wealth stages, then you start asking questions about strategies I think that'll give you a little bit more clarity. I'd love to hear your comments in the comments section, and I look forward to bringing you more videos about real estate investing and wealth building. See you soon.